Every single day you're scrolling through your feeds, you get hit with just tons of images. Most of them we just glance at and move on. But some are designed to do a whole lot more. They're built to persuade you, to quietly shape your opinion, a lot of times without you even realizing it's happening. So how do we start to see these hidden arguments? Well, let's decode them together. All right, take a look at this. What is going on here? An escalator running right up the iconic White Cliffs of Dover. It's weird, it's surreal, and it's definitely not real. But this isn't just some random piece of graphic design. Nope. It's a very carefully constructed piece of political propaganda. So the real question isn't just what this image is trying to say, but how is it so darn effective at making its point without a single word of explanation? To figure that out, you gotta grasp this one simple but really powerful idea. Images are not just pretty decorations on a page. They are arguments, all condensed down, designed to hit you with a feeling long before your brain has a chance to even think.
There's a name for this. It's called visual argumentation, and here's how it works. Think of an image less like a statement and more like a synthesis of reasoning. It's not going to write you an essay with a beginning, middle, and end. No, it's way sneakier than that. It's elliptical, meaning it leaves gaps. It actually counts on you to fill in those gaps with your own cultural knowledge, your own biases, your own emotions. And that's its superpower, right? It just bypasses all our logical filters and goes straight for the gut, triggering things like fear or patriotism or anger in an instant. So how are these powerful arguments actually built? Well, just like a great speech, persuasive images have their own kind of rhetorical toolbox. We're about to break down the key tools that creators use to build their visual messages. Think of this as our official propaganda decoder ring. First tool up is the visual metaphor. This is where a simple object is used to represent a much more complex idea. So here, the cliffs, they're this symbol of a natural historic defense. The escalator, this totally artificial machine, becomes a powerful metaphor for a policy that creates an unnaturally easy one-way street into the country. It takes a really complicated debate and just boils it down into one simple, memorable symbol. Next, we've got metonymy. This is a fancy word for a simple idea, using an effect to stand in for the cause. In this image, the man begging on the street, he isn't just a man. He is the argument. He is being used to represent the supposed consequences of a complex EU immigration policy. It takes this big, abstract economic debate and brings it all down to one single, emotional human story. And the third tool in the box is a big one, hyperbole, or, visual exaggeration. The escalator isn't just a metaphor. Its completely absurd size and scale is pure hyperbole. It visually exaggerates the threat, making the flow of people seem like this massive, unstoppable invasion. And this kind of exaggeration, it's a classic tool for just cranking up the fear and creating the sense of immediate crisis. But here's the thing, images almost never work alone. The most effective propaganda combines them with text, creating what we call a multimodal argument. And the way these two things, the picture and the words, play together is absolutely crucial. It's how an even more complex, more powerful message gets built. So text and images can work together in two main ways. First, you've got convergence. This is where the words and the picture are basically saying the exact same thing. It's clear, it's direct, it's a real 1-2 punch. But then there's divergence. This is where the text and the image actually offer slightly different meanings. It sort of creates a little puzzle for your brain to solve, which makes you more engaged and, believe it or not, can heighten the emotional impact. Okay, let's see these two modes in the wild. On the left, we have pure convergence. The image of the struggling worker directly illustrates the text about unlimited cheap labor. It's totally straightforward. Bam, bam. But on the right, that escalator poster uses divergence. The image by itself is just surreal and confusing. It's the text, no border, no control, that gives you the key, letting you solve the visual puzzle and locking in the exact meaning they wanted you to get. Okay, so we have our toolkit, we have our decoder ring. Now let's put it to work. We're going to do a little visual forensics on the 2014 UKIP campaign where these images originally came from. First up, the text asks, who really runs this country? And the image? Wow. It doesn't just support that question, it dramatizes it in the most extreme way. We see the Union Jack literally burning away to reveal the EU flag underneath. This is convergence but on steroids. It completely transforms a political claim into a visceral image of destruction, implying the nation itself is disappearing and that the damage is already happening. This next poster uses a technique you've definitely seen before, direct address.
The text throws out this big abstract statistic, 26 million people looking for work. And then it asks a question, and whose jobs are they after? The visual makes absolutely sure you know the answer. That pointing finger is a classic trope, right? Borrowed from posters like Uncle Sam Wants You, and it's designed to make a huge abstract threat feel intensely personal. The implied answer is, of course, your job. And here, they get a little clever. Satire and metaphor are doing all the heavy lifting. We see a European Commission president dressed up like a Roman emperor, sitting on a throne made of paperwork. I mean, come on, the message couldn't be clearer. The EU isn't some modern partner. It's an obsolete, bureaucratic, foreign empire. Every little detail, from the helmet on the floor to the shield, builds this satirical argument without ever having to say it out loud. So, okay, we've looked at some posters from a few years back. Why does any of this matter to you right now? Well, because these exact same techniques are being used constantly, today, in your social media feeds. The technology is way more sophisticated, but the rhetorical playbook, it hasn't changed a bit. And to protect yourself from this kind of manipulation, you need a checklist. This is it, your visual analyst checklist. The next time a really powerful image stops your scroll, just run down this list. Ask yourself, who's really talking here? How do the words in the picture interact? What emotion is this trying to get out of me? Am I seeing any hidden metaphors or crazy exaggerations? And finally, who is this argument for? Is it pointed at me? You see, the power of these images lies in the gaps that they expect you to fill in for them. But once you can see the structure, once you can use this checklist, you take that power back. You stop being just a passive consumer of this stuff, and you become an active analyst of your own visual world. So the next time you're scrolling, what hidden arguments will you find?